Hello there. Welcome back to grade 11 Business Studies. In this video, we want to look at an essay question, and this essay is from a March test. This essay is concerning a business environment as a topic. So basically, this is our question that we have, but we are given a scenario that we are given there before we go to the question. So the information that we are given reads: businesses are losing sales and profit on piracy. People do not view piracy as a criminal offense. Many businesses have closed down due to piracy. The government has provided solutions to deal with the piracy. Businesses that have been affected by piracy are always at loggerheads with trade unions as they feel that their members should not be retrenched due to loss of profits resulting from piracy. So our question part reads: write an essay on the following aspects. First point saying elaborate on the meaning of piracy, and then secondly discuss the impact of piracy on businesses. Then our next point, advice on businesses on how to use 3 solutions to deal with piracy. Then lastly, justify the samples of trade unions. And we are seeing that our question is got 40 marks. So going to the first point, which is saying elaborate on the meaning of piracy. Remember, this is to be in the introduction. Remember, in the introduction, that's where we are going to define any term or terms that we are seeing in the question that you can try to describe or define in the introduction. So basically, in this question, we've got piracy as a term that we also need to go and define in introduction, and you see that we've got also trade unions that we have there that we should include in introduction. So basically, piracy is the unauthorized use of somebody's work when you are using another person or another business work without permission or without authorization is piracy. So basically, we see that also we have got trade unions, and we can just try to come up with a brief explanation in terms of what is a trade union. But a trade union basically is an organization made up of members, and we are going to see that the membership of those members is mainly made up of workers. So it comes as a bargaining committee. So basically, this is the explanation of trade union. So those are some of the explanations that you can put in your introduction. So going forward, we have got the second point, which is saying discuss the impact of piracy on businesses. So what is the impact of piracy? Obviously, piracy is going to negatively affect the operations of a business. So on the other section, you see that we have got those explanations in terms of impact of piracy. First one is saying it undermines the music or movie industry as they lose money. So basically, you're going to see that piracy mainly affects the music industry or the movie industry. That's where it mainly affects. So this is the first point that we have. Second point is saying drives up the price of products in order to compensate for the loss in sales. So basically, we are saying after the business has suffered the effects of piracy, at some point it needs to cover up for those losses, so they have to increase their prices. So it becomes also a negative that we can see that from the point of view of the customers or the consumers. So we go to the next one. It leads to job losses in the industry. Obviously, since there is reproduction of your work by another individual or another business, so it's obviously going to negatively affect the profits, and when it's negatively affect the profits, it means the business is going to contract its production processes, whereby it's going to accommodate less workers, and we are going to see job losses taking place. So we go to the next point. The music industry feel reluctant to develop new talent if the element of risk is too high. So at some point, the participants in the music industry are going to feel no reason for them to continue operating as they are facing losses due to the reproduction of their work by other individuals or businesses. So basically, that's what we have on this one. Then we go to the last point, which saying may cause damage to the value of the businesses, which is exactly that. So this is what we have. Then on the next point, it reads advise the businesses on how to use 3 solutions to deal with piracy. So we have got different solutions that we are going to deal with. You can employ the issue of patents, whereby patents we are saying this is an exclusive right granted for an invention. And then we can also use the issue of trademarks, whereby we are saying a trademark is a recognizable sign. It might be a phrase or a symbol that denotes the ownership of a particular product or service. So basically, that's what we have on the use of trademarks. So we have got patents and trademarks. Remember, the question is asking for 3. So we can go on again and try to use the issue of copyright, whereby a copyright gives the rights to control distribution and also reproduction of a product. So basically, those are some of the ways that we can come up with to solve the issue of piracy. So going to answer section, we have those listed and explained. So we're going to start with patents, whereby it reads first point saying businesses can check out a patent for new inventions and include a symbol of their invention with application. Then the second point, they must register a patent with the Patents Office in South Africa. This is just the procedure. Then our next point, the invention must comply with the Patents Act number 57 of 1978. So these are some of the points that you can include under patents. Then next point saying a patent prevents other business or people not to produce and sell the same product or specific service. So lastly, they can bring legal proceedings against anyone who uses the invention. So this becomes the last point. Then obviously, another way that we can come up with is the use of trademarks. And we have defined a trademarks as a recognizable sign, or it might be a phrase or symbol that is used. So the first point is saying businesses can use trademarks to identify themselves and their products. So this is a very, very effective way to solve this problem of piracy. The next one, they must register their trademarks with the Register of Trademarks and the Companies and Intellectual Property Registration. A registered trademark is protected forever, provided it is renewed every 10 years and a renewal fee is paid. These are some of the requirements within the framework of our trademarks. Then lastly, claim damages from someone who infringes the trademark. So if someone infringes the trademarks, you can claim damage as the owner. So basically, this is what we have in terms of trademarks. But we are saying, the question is asking for 3 ways. So obviously, we have another way, which is our copyrights. So we have tried to define again our copyrights, whereby we say it gives the right to control distribution and reproduction of a product or service. So we go to the first point, saying businesses can sue someone who infringes the copyright. So this is actually clear. And then we go to the next one, they can also sue someone who sells or distributes works that he or she knew were infringements of copyright. And then lastly, they can take legal action against people who copy their products. So basically, these are the 3 ways that you can use in terms of patents, trademarks, and copyrights to solve the issue of piracy. Then we'll go to the next question, or the next point that we have saying, justify the establishment of trade unions. So on the establishment of trade unions, we have tried to come up with the explanation of what is a trade union. We are saying it comes. A trade union, we defined it as an organization made up of members, and we said its members is mainly composes the workers. And you see that these trade unions they are there to bargain with the employer, to negotiate for in different respects. It can be from the point of view of better salaries and wages, the point of view of overall on the better working conditions of the employees. So they represent. Trade union is a committee that represents the employees or the workers. So basically, that's what we have. Then this point is saying just why the term of trade union. Why do we have trade unions? That's the issue. So obviously, we've tried to come up with the basis, the aim of trade unions by saying it's there to negotiate for better working conditions. So basically, that's how we are going to come up with our last part there. We go to our answer section, and we see that the first point is saying engaging in industrial action such as protests and strikes. So trade unions are there to authorize the industrial action that can take place in the form of protests or strikes. And then we go to the next one, taking a political action to influence the government strategy. So that's why we have trade unions, so that they can also authorize the issue of political actions that can be taken. The next, establishing minimum economic and legal conditions. And also next point is saying providing protection for their members. So they do protect their members. And then we go next one, engaging in collective bargaining for better terms and conditions. This is exactly the point that we're trying to emphasize. Assisting workers with grievances such as disciplinary action or victimization. So they do represent the workers. So they go on and try to assist those workers when they got grievance in terms of maybe the grievance procedures and how to protect the worker. So nextly, negotiating with the employers for decent working conditions or remuneration representing our salaries and wages, benefits in order to improve the standard of living, obviously. Then negotiating recognition of the union and shop stewards by the employer, and then protecting workers against unfair labor practice and dismissal, take legal action on behalf of members when necessary, and then educating shop stewards and other members on how to carry out their task in union. So basically, shop steward is another term that is coming in. You know that a shop steward is a representative of the trade unions at each and every station. So basically, that's what we have. Every workplace has got someone who is representing the trade union. So that one becomes a shop steward. So basically, that's what we have on the last part, which is obviously our 5.4. And we are saying this is the last part, which is saying justify the establishment of trade union. Then after that, obviously, you are supposed to come up with your conclusion, whereby you are just summarizing your main body, what we discussed in the main body. So it comes as a summary, or you can try to come up with a recommendation in terms of what other solutions can we, maybe in this case, what other solutions can we come up in terms of our in terms of piracy, of solving the issue of piracy. That's typically how you can come up with your conclusion. You can come up with a value judgment depending on the type of issue that you are looking at. So a conclusion and a typical conclusion that you can give for this essay is first point, you can say businesses need to adhere to copyright, patents, and trademarks laws in order to enjoy legal protection. So we are just this is a statement that is just trying to emphasize the importance of some of the instruments that we can use to solve the problem of piracy. Then next point, saying piracy is a form of stealing and legal infringement. Then lastly, trade unions play an important role in providing a counterbalance to the power of employer. So the last point is trying to come up, is trying to explain the relevance of trade unions within our workplaces. So basically, that's what we have in terms of the essay that we had according to this video. That is the essay from a March test. We were saying, please, let's not forget to subscribe and share to our channel. More technical examinations will be uploaded on this channel. So let's stay tuned. Let's turn on the notification button so that when we upload new videos, you get notified. Let's stay tuned. As for this video, I'm signing out. Let's meet again in the next video.